Have you ever felt like you're in the fight of your life only to realize that the person you're fighting so hard against is yourself? Yeah. Let me tell you about a conversation that I recently had with my spirit guide that completely shifted my perspective. Hi, my name is Kia and I do practical spiritual based content here on YouTube. So let's dive in. So recently, I really couldn't decide like what I want to do with my life. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I am a breast cancer survivor, and I am 2 years out of that journey of recovery and all of that. And I've pretty much decided that I'm going to change my career and I want to do something different with my life. And this past semester, I enrolled in school, and by school I mean like community college locally. And I have not gone to school for 20 years. I have taken a couple of classes here and there, but not anything like as aggressive as what I did this past semester, which was going to school full time. So having four credits for classes, and it was nuts. I ended up dropping one of them because it was just way too much. It was medical terminology, and if you ever taken anything like that, there's so much memorization. It just felt impossible. So I did let that one go. So technically, I'm still a full-time student. Really on the fence, and I told myself like I made a decision, and I kept that decision to myself that I wasn't going to enroll for the spring semester. That I was just going to focus on finding a job and getting my finances together, because I don't like broke college student life. It's not fun, especially when you're almost 40. Like, it's just not fun. And so I've really been like reluctant about enrolling in another semester. And all of a sudden today, it popped in my head when I woke up. The semester's over, but it popped in my head, and I sat down and I prayed about it. And as I was praying and journaling and writing, a spirit guide approached me and started questioning me. He started questioning the grounds for my decision. Why did I decide not to enroll if it's something that I want? And so let me just unpack this a little bit. One of my biggest insecurities is education. I am a person who's like very self-educated. I'm always learning something. I don't believe in just having a degree and that makes you smart and stuff. Like, you have to learn and be well-rounded, and part of that comes from you educating yourself. And so I'm big on that. And however, a lot of people think that I have a degree in every single job that I work. Everybody thinks that I have a degree, but I don't actually have one. And especially since I decided to switch careers and I don't have the proof for the career that I would like, it's like, okay, maybe I should go ahead and go back to school. A lot of me going back to school was like inner child work, like, okay, I owe it to myself. I'm going to do this thing. If I have an insecurity, I don't need to stay insecure. It's something that I can change. Like, there's certain things about yourself that you can't change, that you're born that way. Even though everybody gets surgery for everything now, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, let me be serious. Not having an education is something that you can change, right? And so I told myself, like, I'm enrolling and I'm doing this thing, and by the end of the semester, I'm ready to give up. Not because I couldn't keep up with my classes. I actually ended up pulling a 3.3, and that was because one of the classes I kind of like gave up on towards the end. It was IT. I hated it because I didn't need that information, but I kind of like didn't complete a couple of projects, and it brought me down to a B. But essentially, I had 2 A's and a B. So my GPA is at a 3.3 GPA. I found that out today when I went into financial aid office. So let me take it back a little bit. As we're having this conversation, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to enroll again because I don't like that I don't have enough money. I feel like this is taking a lot of energy and there's no reward. And he said to me, so you need to be rewarded immediately for something to be worth your time. And I'm like, well, no, certain things are a slow burn. And he's like, right. And so you said that you wanted to get rid of this insecurity within yourself. So why are you walking away from it? Is it because you're afraid you're going to fail? And as I thought about it more, I realized that it had nothing to do with me being afraid that I'm going to fail because I know I'm not going to fail. I don't fail school. I don't study a lot, and I think that was part of my problem. For once, I actually needed to study to do a little bit better than a B. You know what I mean? When I was in high school, I graduated high school with a 3.5 GPA, and I never studied anything. I just had this way of retaining everything that I hear and taking notes and just putting stuff into my memory just by listening really well. That's my learning technique, and it's always been that way. And I had my parental support for 1 year of college, and that semester, freshman year, I bombed out. I mean, I had a 2.0. That was awful. And that's because I wasn't used to sitting down and having to read 20 pages a night and things like that. I wasn't used to having to study and applying myself, and so it challenged me a lot. And I realized this semester, being full-time, I'm back to this challenge, and I'm making excuses and saying that I'm an adult and I have bills to pay and I need to focus more on full-time work. But in reality, my spirit guide is right. I am running away. I am quitting. I am, not confronting the difficulties. And because I'm not confronting the difficulties that are in front of me, I am being my own worst enemy. I'm standing in the way of my best self. I realize that I don't have a fear of failure. I actually have a fear of success. There's a way that I see myself as a higher form of, myself, a person that I see in my mind, and that person is educated. And if I don't allow myself to take the footsteps towards that education, I'm holding myself back from being the successful version of myself. And that's just, it's silly. It's silly. I realize that, things might be really, really difficult trying to pay for life and trying to get an education at the same time, and worse, doing it when everybody else my age is I don't know, their kids are graduating and stuff and they're about to go to school. It makes for a very different dynamic. I have no excuse, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I have no excuse for not getting something that I'm perfectly capable of getting. And so I went ahead and I just registered for 4 more classes today, and I found out some more information about some more scholarships that could possibly help me, get through financially. And of course, I'm still out here looking for jobs. I did secure something small with a local nonprofit, so I'm excited about that. But I'm making this school thing work. It's a sacrifice. And at least for this program, for right now, my estimated graduation is, if I do a summer course, it will be fall of 26. If not, it will be spring of 27. And I'll just have a couple of classes in that semester. But that's where I am right now. And so to sum all this up, I really want to ask you to go in the comments, and I want to know, in your spiritual walk or your personal walk, whichever, what ways do you notice yourself sabotaging yourself? Do you feel like you have a fear of success or a fear of failure? What do you do to confront that fear of success or that fear of failure? I really want to know about it. So let's chat about it in the comments. Thank you for watching. See you next time.